hello there. Hope you can clearly hear us and hope you can clearly see us. Yep.
Yes.
Hello, dear friends. Thank you for joining today's culture program. We hope that you will have interesting day today, because now we will go through our city, and please be ready to write questions.
Yes, it will be better if you will write your questions, so we will be able to see your questions in our chat. But you're also free to ask questions via your mics. Yes, we will be more than pleased to answer.
Yes, and it's time to start?
Yes, it's time to start. So, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So yes, this is actually, dear technical director, we need to a little bit to go to the beginning of our video. Yes, I would be more than glad. Oh, all right, thank you. So guys, today we're going to have an excursion around the city center, historical city center of Samara. So this is our first point. This is Revolution Square. And we are studying now right here. It appeared in 1782 when Catherine the Great, the Empress of Russia, ruled the country. Initially, on the side of the square in the 18th century, there were a meadow and a lake. And then wooden shops began to be built on this place in order to create such a market square. So after Samara became a province, the square acquired such public significance. It became the center of the city and the main entrance to the city. In 1889, a monument to Alexander II, he was the Russian emperor, was opened in the center of the square, which at the time there was the only one monument in Samara. The opening of the monument at that time became a true holiday for the citizens. The troops marched around in ceremonial march. The city officials gave treats to people. So yes. And in 1917, work Israelis began to take place on the square. And for instance, Valerian Kuybyshev, Alexei Galaktionov, they were both Russian revolutionaries, and others performed here. So yes. So now there is a monument of Vladimir Lenin. Here you can write, or you can read in Russian, Lenin. So he's like a father of communism, the father of the Soviet Union. So yes, now this is the monument of Vladimir Lenin, stands in the center of the square, because the square has a shape of circle. Yes. So if you will have a look from the sky, you will see that there is a really perfect circle. So yes, this is. So now we can see the Kuybyshev Street. This is one of the main streets of Samara cities. There are many well-preserved, nice-looking buildings of the late 19th and 20th century. If we will continue, we will see the building. Yes, you can see the building. Дальше. Yes, so this is the hotel complex. Previously, actually, it was the estate of the merchant Ananiev, but nowadays it's such like a building. So yes, that's it. Here you can see the first floor of this building, and it was built in 1857, where there was a shop. After that, the second floor was completed, and in 1889, the governor and his family lived here in this building. So this is still the same building. Назад. Yes. Here now you can see that there is a library. There is also a popular place where you can taste such yummy dishes, meat dishes. Yes. The next building, the blue one, this is first was owned by the merchant Bem. He created the first music store in Samara city. Yes. So now there is located the Volga Choir. The next one, the light brown one, there was the first electric theater, and there was an electric office, and also there was located the office of Ford cars. There was such purchase like spare parts for the Ford cars. This building, this is a blue one. Here you can see like the windows, yes, and all the architecture. This is actually the bank, Merchant Azov and Don Bank. Yes, that's it. Actually, during those days, I mean in the 19th century, there were practically no written contracts because most people in the 19th century were still illiterate. So most of the contracts were conducted orally, and also no any records were kept. So since there was no one to do the job of making records, all business was carried out such on trust. Either you pay or I interrupt business, or something like do not deal with you. So yes, it was something about that. So the next building, this is trading house of the Claude brothers. From 1907 to 1917 was a trading house owned by Claude brothers. They were selling such like German steam oil and gas generator engines, fans, new paintings, and in the Soviet years there was a printing house actually. And on the first floor now you can see the special shop for the brides. So if you will have a marriage soon, you can just go inside and find some good dress for your wedding. This building lived the famous Russian writer Maxim Gorky. So yes, that's it. The next one that's close to this building, this is this gray building. This is management of saving banks. Yes, we can call it like that. So there is a spacious operating room inside, meter-thick walls, heavy black doors to storerooms, and all this made the clients of the Credit Society feel security and reliability to the Soviet saving bank. So yes, this is still the same building, yes. So this Samara department of the State Bank of the USSR was located here until the middle of the 20s of previous century. So yes, that's it. The next building, yes, this is House of the Merchant Christensen. A red brick building appears, yes, ahead of us. Now we can see it. It is Samara Public Library. It's such a nice example of restoration, which is not a shame actually. So the former house of the Danish merchant Christensen, he's actually Danish, pleases the eye, right? Yes, both outside and inside, yes. So there is an interesting fact that the merchant's wife was personally in charge of the jewelry and perfumery departments. So gold, diamonds, Ural rubies, Siberian gems, also combs, horsehair brooches, luxurious wedding dresses, fashionable shoes, handbags, building materials, gas stoves, and tractors were regularly bought for sale there. So if we will go there, we will still go, and we will see the house of Kalachov. This is the house of Kalachov. It was built in 1903 as the Kalachov house. So there is a Bristol Zhiguli restaurant opened here on January 16 in the 1911. So yes. So there was a really good menu. Customers were interested with concert programs. So today here is an economy branch of the Bristol Zhiguli Hotel. So yes, that's it. That's it. And what will be the next? Oh, maybe it's time to stop a little bit. Maybe you have any questions? Maybe I'm so in a hurry, maybe I need to stop a little bit and speak loudly, or maybe I just need to stop more slowly. No? No questions via mics, no questions in the chat. I cannot see any messages in the chat. All right. So now I think it will be the turn of Masha. So I will give a word to Masha, and I hope you will be excited to the part that Masha is going to tell you. So Masha, hello.
Yeah, hello. Now I'm sitting near Lada and try to check what about your question, but no. Maybe it's time to continue our excursion, because in Samara's city, and especially in Kubyshev street, there are so many interesting objects, not only this one. And now you can see, before our video starts, and Lada, go to check your YouTube and Zoom and WhatsApp, and please feel free to ask. And also
Good luck.
thank you, send us some pictures. Maybe you will see now in my screenshot. I would like to tell you that we will continue our guide, and our next location will be so interesting. Please look, here, what we can see. This is a post office building, yes. One of the main part, a lot of people say hello, hello, like the earth. And the style of the architecture of the post office is social realism. Yes, you can see the globes closer. And in 1960, according to this project of Perman, deep windows were added to the main faces of the post office. Now we continue our walking, and you can see the modern installation of mailboxes, which located in front of the post office. It's one of the photo zone, not only for tourists, but also for Samaras, because this location appeared only 1 year ago, and these mailboxes are moved due to the Soviet period, because when they were one of the popular way of mail to each other. Oh, you can see how it's so old, but it's described and feel us in the Soviet period in atmosphere place, and you can now make a screenshot and make photo, maybe me and me with you, or maybe without me you can cut later. Oh, please look at this beautiful building, because it's the house of Saprikin, and in the 20th century there was a sausages production. Later it became the building of Samara post office. Yes. And this building was a sausages production. It's so funny. Here you can see the house of Podhidashev. In 1980, it was a Russian Asian commercial bank, and soon it became the shops for women. For example, you can find some interesting goods, especially for beautiful Samaras, not only Samaras, women. Please pay attention to this beautiful building, because it was the cinema. Now it's a shop, but before it was cinema, and each cinema consists of 3 cinema with joint cinema triangle. We have Художественный, we have Triumph and Modern. And now you can see the second building of this cinema triangle. Why triangle? Because this cinema located like a geometry detail. And this cinema called Modern was opened in the beginning of the 20th century. Yes, we go next, and you can see this beautiful green house. It's Myrtro Serbrikov house, one of the famous in Samara. And in 1909, Fyodor Shalyapin, famous Russian singer, was here, because here was the hotel. In the room number 16, you can come and listen Shalyapin if you were in this time. But now you can imagine that Shalyapin were here, open balcony, stand around, see the Kuybushevskaya Square and say hello, hello, and sing better than me, because he was the famous one. You can Google and check it. And this building also, remember, the Fires was American and Japanese journalist. He also located here and make a lot of article. By the way, now it's still hotel and has a very good restaurant. You can come and eat here. Yes, now you can make screenshot as you wish, because, yes, you can see the Shalyapin room. Say, hello, hello, Shalyapin, how are you? If we were in Samara 100 years ago, we can do it, because we are now here. So, also I would like to tell you that the French pilots also located and stayed here. And we go next. What is it beautiful building? This is Samara Region Arts Museums. Yes. Say hello, hello. We reach the next location in our sightseeing tour. And Samara Regional Art Museum is one of the largest museums, not only in Samara, but in Russia. This is the oldest one. And this is a museum located in Samara region. Here you can find a lot of arts. And you, if you know Russian, you know that if we read it, it will bank. Why bank? Because the previous location here was not the Samara Art Museum, it was the bank. And we go next, you can see the beautiful pink house. It is Yegorov's Grossy house. Why we would like to show you now? It's one of the famous bar, but previous one, it was the shop with interesting goods. Whoa, very interesting, very expensive goods. Oh, let's look what we next C. The Church of St. Jory. The Samara Evangelical Lutheran Church of St. Jory was originally built in the Roman Catholic Church, but it came out to the Polish Church. Due to several spring, the building was practically combined, was handed out on the ecological Lutheran community, which consists of many journals. Yes, you can see the closer. We can make photo like this one as you wish. As you don't want, we can don't do it. And in general architecture and perception industry, the church built states out nautically with its remarkable composition. I would like to tell you that in 1930 the city authorities decided to close the church. Now you can see the entrance. The church was closed and the building was used for the meetings of the Soviet Union authority. But in 1991 the USSR was destroyed, as you know, and the legal literature community was re-registered in Samara, and church again opened door. And it was like a big holiday celebration when our citizens and the guests celebrating their Christmas in this church. And now you can see what in the window. Yes, it's like some interesting composition. Whoa, it's so good. But what about you and your question? KFC, yes, thank you very much, you find it. What about McDonald's? We also have McDonald's, but in other place. And do you want to ask something, not especially KFC? Dear friends, feel free to ask. You can switch on mic and ask. If you don't question, you can say no. Okay, I will check. So, I think I will check again the chat. Oh,
hello. Can you hear my voice?
Ready? Oh, dear Nasrul, could you please switch on mic? Or maybe you can type. Could you please type your question? I will see in chat and we will be more than happy to answer. Yes, maybe some Samara's cold. By the way, you know that now in Samara minus 20. Minus 20. It's so cold. What happened? Oh, I see the question. Thank you. The restaurant of the hotel expensive? If you talk about Bristol Zhiguli, yes, it's a little bit expensive, not expensive like Lotus House, because I think you know that Lotus is like some groups of hotels. And if we talk about this house, maybe 3,000 rubles per night. It's one of the cheapest price in this hotel. And the restaurant, not so expensive. We have a lot of expensive restaurants, maybe 5 expensive restaurants in Samara, and they located a little bit in different parts from this street. So any other question? Or if no, we will continue our trip if you are ready to see something interesting. Whoa. But before we will go, Lada will come to us. She is waiting for your question. Oh, I saw, thank you. Is the city far from the university, also the rent there? First question will answer me, and then I will go out, and Lada will answer on the second question. Dear friends, we would like to tell you that Samara University has so many buildings, and one of them located close to the Kuybyshev Street. It's the oldest one. It was appeared in 1942. But if we talk about now, where we located, it may be 25 minutes by bus. 30.
Yes, probably around 30 minutes by bus, and if you would like to have a walking, it will be like 1 hour and a half by foot.
It's so cool if you, for example, have some dinner during the classes. You can go out and see Kuybyshev Square, and I will do the same, not to dinner, but to check your question.
Yeah, thanks, Masha. And I see there is a question also. The rent there is expensive. You mean renting apartment in the old city center? Yes, something about that. Oh, maybe I'm a little bit confused and I lost anything. Nasrul, do you mean is it expensive to rent a flat in the historical city center? Am I right? You can type in the chat because unfortunately I think that I cannot hear you. I will be more than pleased if you will. Меня слышно вообще, Дань? All right. So, Nasrul, if we are talking about renting apartment in the historical city center, I think it won't be expensive. I think if you would like to rent one-room flat, a small flat, it will be approximately like 18,000 rubles. So there is approximately like $200 per month, something about that, or probably a little bit more. Yes, something about that. Any other questions? No, I cannot see any questions. All right, so maybe we will continue. So, this is now actually we are standing on the crossroad of Kuybyshev Street and Nekrasov Street. So Nekrasov was a Russian writer and he's quite famous in Russia. Here you can see a sculpture, this is the monument of the brave soldier Shveik. So the creation of this monument to the soldier Shveik was dedicated to the 130th anniversary of the birth of the author of this satirical novel called The Adventures of the Gallant Soldier Shveik, Yaroslav Gashek. He actually lived in Samara in 1918. Yes. So now you can see such like a graffiti, yes, according to the aviation exploration, yes. You can see the pilot, yes, the staff, the crew. So this is just the graffiti of the building, but we are more interested in this building, in this green one building. So actually this is Malyshev House. Officers' clothing store located there previously in this building. And also there were such like tea shop, I know, and also actually there was a fun fact about this building. There was a restaurant that was called Bar. Yes, it's some like a fun thing actually. Restaurant called Bar. Yes, there is such an interesting fact. If we will continue our walking, we will see women's gymnasium. Women's gymnasium, yes. It's like beige building, yes, on the left side. So in 1904, Miss Nina Andreevna Khardina, this is the name of the woman, she rented the house for a female gymnasium. So classical Russian education was based on a deep study of the Latin and Greek languages, ancient culture, and other humanitarian disciplines. So the student certificate of maturity was appreciated in Europe and surpassed in a higher education diploma in the convertibility and quality. So in this building now there is a school number 15. So yes, this is the school nowadays. This red brick two-story house, actually the first public speech of Lenin, of the father of the communism, took place in that building actually. The next location, the next sightseeing is наверх. This is the beige story house, yes, and also cultural figures gathered here in the 19th century. There were concerts and cultural evenings. The first art exhibition in Samara took place here in the end of the 19th century, and in 1896 the museum was transferred here to this building. This actually the building of the State Bank, this pink one, yes. This is the Samara department of the State Bank of Russia, and it was opened in July of 1864. So Samara department of the State Bank was engaged in deposit operations, issuing short-term loans, buying and selling gold and silver. So yes, that's it. The next sightseeing is Claude Mansion. The architectural solution of the building has a picturesque three-dimensional composition of different volumes designed for perception from different sides, and stylistically it belongs to the romantic direction in architecture of the late 19th and early 20th century probably, yes. So the mansion was a high spire and a weather vane on the tent resembles a small castle, yes. And if we will now have a look, it looks like a gingerbread house actually. It's like came from some fairy tales, from some Disney cartoons probably, yes. Yes, it looks like a house for toys, for Barbie, something about that. So Claude, the owner, actually. He bought this land in the end of 19th century. So inside the house there are 6 rooms for the owners: an office, living room, smoking room, dining room, 2 bedrooms, and so on. So the next, this is Serebrennikov house, but nowadays actually it's a hospital. It's skin and venereal clinic. Yes. So house made in the Moresque style, and it has symmetrical composition of the main facade. The house was designed as 1-story side. Yes. So yes, this is the first floor of the clinic. Yes, it also looks actually like a building that came from some fairy tales, from some cartoons, but it was decorated several years ago, probably 10 years ago, and nowadays it's just the hospital. Next location is the building of the former district court. So a 2-story brick building with a basement attached from the side of the courtyard is located on the Revolution Square. This is the first destination. Yes, this is our first point when we started our excursion. So it's located on the Revolution Square. So the walls of the courts are made of red ceramic bricks. Plastered has a 2-wheeled color with the identification of the decor in white on a general light brown background. So in the middle of 19th century, it became the property of the city, and a project was drawn up for reconstruction on the building for the placement of the Samara district court, actually. So yes. This is actually the end of the first part, and the next part is we are going to show you the church. The church, the Sacred Heart Church, it's a Catholic one. So, yes, that's it. We just took off from the land, and now you're able to see a huge Polish Catholic church. As we mentioned before during our city tour cultures program, there are many dimensions in Russia, and many people are religious one, but it's not about the Orthodox Church. We also have Lutheran, Catholic, Protestant, and others. So this church is Catholic one. The style is neo-Gothic, yes, and it's located also in the historic city center of Samara. It's just like 1 street from the Kuybushев street, yes. So in 1902, it was decided to expand and build a church of red brick neo-Gothic style. The church is called the Polish one because it was built by representatives of the Samara Catholic community, and most of them were Polish. Most of them were Poles. So yes, that's it. The ensemble of the Catholic cathedral includes a stone church building, a chapel, and outbuildings. So in the 20s, 30s, the Polish church was closed and looted, and with the beginning of the war, this World War II, the local history museum was located in this building. So the church was transferred to the Catholic community only in 1991, where Soviet Union was destroyed. So the church was restored and reconsecrated, yes, and in 1996 in honor of the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. So in May 2000, crosses were installed on the spires. Now we can see, yes, now we can see the spires of the church. Yes, I see the question. Yes, maybe I will come a little bit closer and I will be able to see the question. Is there something to the architecture that can help us differentiate a Catholic church from an Orthodox? Yes, it's such a good question, actually, Nathalie. Thank you. Thank you for your question. The key thing that the style of Russian Orthodox Church and Catholic ones, they're totally different. Many Catholic churches, they are built in the Gothic style or similar to them, right? Instead of Orthodox churches, we have huge roofs, and most of them are covered by gold. So it's like gold roofs with crosses, and Orthodox crosses, they're totally different from the Catholic one. It has the shape is more like with some circles or anything about that. So yes, if you will have a look, it's all right, Nathalie. I understood you. So yes, and Orthodox Church, we don't have many, I don't know, angles instead of Catholic Church, for instance. So the key things that we have many roofs covered by gold, yes, and mostly the walls of the color of the white ones, yes. So Catholic Church, they are like bright one, light one, instead of, I mean Orthodox Church, they are like mostly white instead of Catholic ones. So yes, if you remember in the beginning of our schools, we showed you the picture of Catholic Church. So yes, and if you will go inside, you will see in Orthodox Church many icons, many pictures of saints on the walls, on the roofs, and so on. But if you will go inside the Catholic Church, first of all, you will see many rows of benches, probably, right? And there will be like some special places with icons. But if you will go inside the Orthodox, you will see a lot. You will see a lot of icons on the walls and on the roofs. And I see another question. I need to come a little bit closer. Religion are restricted in the Soviet era. Right, you're right, Nasrul. Are the churches affected or destroyed and rebuilt back? Yes, sure. Many churches, Orthodox churches, they were totally destroyed. And previously, when we had city tour, okay, we have Kuibyshev Square, and soon Masha will show you Kuibyshev Square, and nowadays there is the ballet and opera theater. But previously, on the place of the theater, there was a church. There was the main church of Samara city, but unfortunately, due to the Soviet government, it was destroyed, and nowadays we have another main Orthodox church in Samara, but it's located a little bit in another place. So yes, many buildings, many churches were destroyed and rebuilt back. Sometimes in the place of the church, government decided to build another buildings. So yes, that's it. It's a good question. Thank you, Nasrul. I hope that I clarified your knowledge. All right. So I would like to welcome Masha, and she will tell you some interesting facts, and you will see some good pictures of Kuibyshev Square. This is the main square. So Masha,
hello.
Join us.
I'm just swimming in our stream because we located in the blue color. It looks like snow. It also looks like ocean, and we can swim in our stream. And suggest you to feel free to ask. Thank you, Lada, for
I give a word to Masha, and see you later.
Hello again, dear friends. Now we will see the Kuibyshev Square, not Kuibyshev Street. Pay attention, because Kuibyshev Street it's long, Kuibyshev Square it's place. There, as you remember, city tour, the biggest square in Europe. And now I will show you. Yes, hello. You can see the Kuibyshev Square at night, and now the Kuibyshev Square looks a little bit different, because you can see the Kuibyshev Square during the holidays. There are so many activities. And I would like to tell you there are a large Christmas tree in the middle, and I will show you one of them. Yes, it's the electric Christmas tree. In the middle also you can find plenty small of pines. There are also Christmas tree. You can see a huge color lights and the electric each from all sides. Oh, you can see the Samara is the name of our city. And now please pay attention on this interesting activity. Yeah, the cosmonaut come to the rocket. Space Materials School. Hello. Why there are so many rockets in Samara? Because you remember that Samara is the space capital, first of all, and the next one that the Samara celebrate anniversary of the launch to the space. And you can see the space topic of our holidays attraction. Yes. And now rockets fly to the sky. Before the rockets, here you can see the Kuibyshev Opera and Ballet Theatre. Also, I would like to tell that here you can find the rings, the same rings located here, and now we are on the rings. Oh, if you, after rings, became cold and would like to drink coffee, you can catch a bus, but not real bus, it's a bus especially for coffee. You can open, have some cup of tea or coffee, return to the rings and play hockey, go skating or make photos. Now we locate in the interesting light composition. It's a big toy from the streets. It's not real, but you can do the same like go and make photo, like this one, and post in your social networks and gets a lot of likes. Oh, what is it? What is it? Yes, in the house of the Russian Santa Claus, or you name Ded Moroz. Now let's see faster how going on the Kuybushov Square if, for example, we come at the beginning of January. Now if you come now to the Kuybushov Square, it's only snow and opera at Belly Theater. But if you, for example, celebrate New Year in Samara, I strongly recommend you to do it. You can see this beautiful Kuybushov. We can now feel ourselves like birds and fly. So let's repeat again what we will see. Here, located the house of the Ded Moroz or Santa Claus. Also, you can find there are so many trees, shops with the Christmas toys and some kind of fruits. Also, we can find a lot of rings here, but you can find it. Whoa, 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 what is it? Is a question. Is there any festival? Is there any festival and lights are celebrated every year in Samara? Yes, every year we celebrate the second ring. We celebrate a lot of festival on this street, on this square, because you see how big is it. For example, part of the victory celebration of the Second World War, New Year activity. Also, we celebrate some others events. Celebrate the end of the growing vegetables. A lot of people come from the countryside with vegetables, with apple and some other fruits, and a lot of people come to buy. Also, with a lot of fireworks of the holidays, we also have this. So, anyone answer the question? Because Kuybushov Square is the main part of our city. For example, if you come to our city on the World War Cup 2 years ago, you can also locate it in the Kuybushov Square, because FunFest, yes, FunFest located on the Kuybushov Square is a typical picture of Samara 2 years ago, and a lot of people sitting on the square and watching football. But now it's also a popular place for making some events. For example, we celebrated the city anniversary, the second weekends of the September. Some popular Russian stars come here, playing some interesting songs, and a lot of Samaras listen here and have some fun. I am dancing and waiting for your question. Lada, what about WhatsApp? No? Nobody answer? Oh, dear friends, be so active, because Samara is open for your question, and we also be more than happy to see you. Yes. Our city is long destination. We not like circle like Moscow, for example. You can say, Google, please show me Samara, and you understand that Samara looks like tie. But if you see, for example, Moscow looks like circle. Why? Because Moscow River divided Moscow into two parts. Volga River go around Samara, and that's why Samara so long. And if, for example, we come to the bus station, take bus and go to the Kuybushov Square, it may be 25 minutes like for Kuybushov Street. Yes, the same one, because it's the oldest part of the city. For example, here when we are located, it was suburb 2 centuries ago, not now. Yes, and the center of Samara was now near the Kuybushov Street and Kuybushov Square. Interesting fact that the Kuybushov Square and Kuybushov Street had the other's name before the Soviet part. Yes, and our city also had the Kuybushov name. And then it was renamed to Samara, to the oldest pre-revolutionary name. It's like one of the tradition of Soviet period. So, dear friends, what about your question and your mood today? For example, when we are waiting, Lada will join us. When we are waiting here, please write the temperature of your place and write, my place has temperature and degrees. My place has temperature, because we tell you about, oh, hello, hello, about other temperature, but what about temperature in your place? let's imagine that we have already write that minus 20. What about you? And we will find the difference. Hmm? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Fernanda. 20.
20.
It's almost 40 degrees difference.
Yes.
Oh.
28.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Dear friends,
16.
could you
9.
send us your worm a little bit,
Whoa.
like a parcel?
Just like feel the difference.
Yes.
Today is 18.
By Russian Post. Could you please send us? Russian Post, the good post. It can sell also worm.
Yes, it's such a joke. And actually, when I just woke up this morning, I checked the weather forecast, and I've seen that there was like minus 22 Celsius degrees, but it feels like minus 30 Celsius degrees, because maybe probably of the wind. So when I just went out, when I went outside from my home, I felt this difference because it was really like minus 30 Celsius degrees. It was like, OMG, it's so freezing.
Yes, and I find the second trousers for me, because in one trousers is so cold. And the third jackets.
Yes, so yes, that's it. And guys, if you have any other questions, we will be more than pleased to answer them, because today, unfortunately, today is the last day of our cultural program. It's the last time when we meet during our some free time. And today there will be only closing ceremony, am I right?
Yes. Oh, is it true that they make shared ice using the snow?
Yes.
Why not?
Shaved ice using the snow, yes, probably.
Why not? Come to Samara and we will try together. Dear friends, thank you. Thank you for watching us. We will be more than happy if you make some photos. Tag us in Instagram. We will make a repost. Oh, how we will so happy.
If we go to Samara, could you make us tour by the city by feet? Yeah.
Okay, it sounds interesting. We will, you will come to our university, and then we will go for a walk until Kubishov Square.
Yep, why not? We will be more than pleased to be your guides during your visit to Samara. We will know many places, yes, actually, Enzo. I think you also have many places, like on the bottom, like Kubishov Square, some Samara City Embankment, and other sightseeings.
For example, Botanic Garden, which also located near our university.
Yes, it will be a pleasure for us to be your guide. Why not?
We will make photo with Samara Arena, that Samara Arena, our cap, and make like this one. Hello.
Is it expensive to travel around the city? No.
We have 4 ways of transport: bus, trolleybus, metro, and taxi.
Tram, actually.
And tram, yes. It's 35 rubles.
Actually, there are 2 options. You can buy the ticket by cash, so it will be 32 rubles. But if you have credit card, you can also pay by credit card, so it will be 29 rubles.
Yes, it sells from our government. Use credit card, not cash.
Yes, so
it's useful as for me.
So 29 rubles, approximately, it's like $0.4, like 40 cents. Yes, something about that. So this is the price of the ticket if you pay by card. So yes, and as we are students, me and Masha, we are students, we had like some unlimited card. We pay only approximately like 100 rubles.
No, yes, it's mean $10 like this one.
Yes, we can just pay $10 per month, and there is no such special number of our ways. We can use our card with no limits. So we can, travel by public transport for the whole day and for the whole month, and we will pay only 100 rubles.
Very interesting question. I'm not sure about restaurant, maybe keep it talk, you can Google it. But bars? Very hard question, but we have other interesting bars you can come. On the bottom, it's maybe bar during the whole period, Soviet period and others way.
Previously we had some restaurants probably, but I'm not sure that they're still open. So there's located, if I'm not mistaken, on Samarskaya Street, but I'm not sure.
Pasternak, it's Soviet? No?
Nope, it's like Russian.
Russian. Sorry. But bars we also have not only on the bottom, others interesting bars. Please come, we will show you.
But it's an interesting question.
Yes,
Maybe we
thank
will
you.
Google it later.
Yes. We need you to come to us and we together will find the good restaurant with Soviet kitchen.
Yep. So any other questions?
Or maybe we will find a grandmother, somebody's, and she will prepare the good Soviet kitchen. I hope you understand that this was a joke.
Any other questions? We're here to answer them.
We don't want to say goodbye. Ask us something.
Yes, because soon, I mean in 40 minutes, you will have your excursion to the lab, the additive manufacturing lab. And there will be no chance to chat anymore.
And dear our soft skill friends who will see this guide later, feel free to ask in chat.
Yep.
Now you know that there are 3 schools together.
Yes.
Join now in Samara University.
And there are participants from Brazil, Chile, Mexico, Malaysia, China, Nigeria,
Poland.
Finland, Poland, yes, Indonesia. So there are many, many countries, actually. Thank you for everything.
Oh, thank
I
you.
fell in love with Samara. Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
it's a pleasure.
Unfortunately, Zoom couldn't write the country, and now we know after the winter course.
After the winter course, can we still ask questions about Samara? Yes.
Why not?
Yes, you're free to ask any questions. You can write them in our chat or you can just send private messages. It's up to you, yes. We'll be more than glad to answer your questions, so why not?
Don't forget to share memes, because it was a good tradition after our quiz. We like memes very much.
Yes. Because as you see, we're still young people, so yes, we like memes.
And if you do memes by yourself, it will be so happy. For example, you can make screen on Zoom, add some interesting words and send in WhatsApp. It will be funny.
And also, guys, if you will visit Russia one day, you could also text us and maybe we can catch up.
Yes, and we have a question. Sorry, I read it.
Oh, it's an interesting question.
I think yes, why not?
Yes, I also think so, yes.
Especially when, for example, Russia, not teenagers. The first year of students of university, it's teenagers, not so. But if, for example, girl pass examining well and come to the Moscow University and Samara's boy here not so good in studies, he unfortunately located in Samara in it's like for the distance. Because so smart girl located in the capital.
Yes, Russia is a big country, right? Yes, and also I have a story. I have my group mate, and she's a female, yes, she's a girl, and she had a long distance relationship for approximately like 3 years, yes. So her boyfriend, he lived in St. Petersburg, and she lived in Samara because she was studying there in the city. So yes, they've been in the relationship for 3 years, and then they married. Nowadays they live all together in St. Petersburg, so yes, why not? There are many stories like that.
It's upon you, dear friends.
Yes, Natalie, it's all about love.
Yes, Russia is a big country, so big country. Whoa,
Yes, it's a big country, but actually we can travel really cheap around the country, yes. We can buy tickets to Moscow from Samara like for 2,000 rubles, and it's cheap, yes. So why not?
Yes. For example, if we would like to come from Samara to Kamchatka, it's not so cheap, but it depends how destination you choose. Oh.
Can we get a kurtka from international school by mail?
This one?
Do you want this hoodie?
Unfortunately, there are only limited collection, only 4 of them, but we will ask Ekaterina and Olga, our main managers, and maybe they will give you this like a parcel.
Yeah, probably. I think we can arrange anything under your request. Using train, that's the rule. Using train.
And we noticed your size.
Yes, thank you, Enzo. We see. So, that's the rule. Using train, yes, why not? There are different trains from Samara to Moscow, for instance, and we will take like from 13 hours till 20 hours. It depends on the class of the trade, I guess. So yes, there are some special, I don't know, like beds, small benches when you can sleep during the night. So yes, I like it. I like trains, for instance.
But if you're in hurry, you can catch a plane, and after 2 hours, no, half an hour, you're in Moscow and in Samara also. Like say, please stop, I will need to come, and plane you put and fly like this one.
Yes, and actually during the summertime we also have cruises, yes, around the Volga River. So yes, you can use like ships, you can use trains, planes, cars, taxis, buses.
Foods especially.
And X said, для отца, пожалуйста.
Okay.
Okay, we checked all your sizes, Enzo, thank you. So there is XL and XXL for the hoodie, all right.
We will ask and tell you. By the way, if we are here and waiting for your question, dear Space Materials School, could you please write in chat the name of you, name of your group, and name of your detail which you choose for the printing, because your teacher asked and not some of you answered this question. Thank you.
But I checked that there are some answers probably.
Yes, but not all, unfortunately.
Yes, yes. And also, guys, I'm really excited because soon you will have an excursion to the lab. And I've been there actually physically, and it was amazing. And I hope that you will also like this excursion, this tour. So let's see. I think it will be really exciting and interesting.
Any other question?
Yes, while we still have some time and while we're still standing there.
I have an idea. You say, no, Masha, again. Switch on your camera, let's make photo, dear friends. Again.
Yes, let's take like our last photo during our cultural program.
Don't cry, please, but switch on and make photo. Oh, thank you. I saw that somebody's writing WhatsApp.
Hey, Fernando.
Hello.
Enzo, Shopiju, Natalie, hey. Enzo, it's your turn, and Shopiju, it's also your turn.
When you switch on, I would like to ask technical director, is it possible to make screenshot or not? Please don't.
Let's try to make a screenshot.
You can catch this zoom to you and make if you wish. You have any?
Okay, we are waiting for Enzo because he just texted 1 minute.
We can have question.
Yes. No, I can.
We will answer later. Now photo,
Yes.
and then we will later.
Okay, all right. So yes, do you have any motivations or quotes for us to persuade to come there? Whoa.
Thank you for your question.
Yes.
Your question became so interesting during our standing here.
Motivation. So what kind of motivation do you need to come here? Aren't we a motivation?
Okay.
Okay, Enzo. Hello, Enzo. So it's time to take a photo. So
Yes.
technical director, we're ready. So 3, 2, 1, smile. Let us check if yes, we have the picture. Great. So thank you guys. Thank you for turning on your cameras. Thank you for being with us. Yes.
It was very interesting.
Yes, and unfortunately, I think it's time to say bye-bye to each other, but we will see each other tomorrow for the last time, yes?
And we see you every day and every night now in our WhatsApp chat. Only write and send memes and we say haha. So thank you very much for joining us. It was so cool.
Yes, it was a pleasure to. So guys, see you tomorrow and have a nice time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We don't want to say goodbye, but unfortunately...
Пока. Хорошего дня.
Пока-пока.